I'm Julie Cielo, somatic coach, trauma alchemist, and unapologetic cycle breaker. I've experienced family betrayal, walked through a marriage that no longer served me, and seen the wellness world for what it can be, both healing and toxic. I've lived the shadow work, danced with my demons, and come out the other side, not perfect, but free. And this is where I help you rewrite your past to claim your future, aligning your heart, mind, and gut on your own terms.
Hi. If you've ever been the scapegoat in your family, the one that's blamed, misunderstood, silenced, or exiled, this episode is for you. I want you to know that you're not alone. And today, I want to speak directly to you. So this isn't just a story about family estrangement. It's a story about reclaiming truth, healing trauma, and coming home to yourself. Because sometimes choosing distance is the most loving act that you can make, even in a world that doesn't understand it. You see, when I was 42, I had to make the difficult decision to go no contact with both my egg and sperm donors. And this was one of the most powerful yet freeing choices I've ever had to make. And it didn't happen overnight. It was a culmination of years of confusion, emotional manipulation, and deeply entrenched dysfunction. You see, I was raised in an enmeshed system where codependency, guilt, and fear were woven into daily life. There was a constant triangulation amongst siblings, lies, whispering, alliances, blame being shifted always away from those that were in power, my mother, and towards the ones who dared to see clearly, me. For decades, I internalized the blame. I bent myself into shapes to be acceptable. And I was the peacemaker, the emotional sponge, the one that was always too much or too sensitive. Behind closed doors, there was a truth that no one wanted to speak. I had witnessed something at 14 years old that changed everything. What finally broke this illusion was discovering that my mother had embezzled $150,000 from her own parents, my grandparents, who loved me, who showed up for me when no one else did. And she kept this hidden for over 25 years, covering it up, lying about it, gaslighting the entire family. She stole from her own siblings. And in one of the most disorienting betrayals, she rekindled a relationship with the same woman that she claimed had robbed our family all those years ago. It felt like standing in the middle of a house of mirrors, everything distorted, reality denied. And when I confronted the truth almost a decade ago, I was painted as the villain. My character was defamed. I was the one slandered. And slowly, my 3 younger siblings, half-siblings, distanced themselves, clinging to a version of the story that erased me. And maybe they experienced a different reality. Maybe they weren't ready to see what I saw. But the heartbreak of losing them was real. Scapegoating is a form of abuse. It's when one person is unconsciously assigned to carry the emotional dysfunction of an entire family system. They become the problem, the outcast, the crazy one. And when you finally speak your truth, the backlash can feel unbearable. And you'll hear things like, "But your family, you only get one mother. Can't you just forgive and move on?" These are guilt traps, usually said by people who had never had to choose between their sanity and their family. People who have never had to survive a system that gaslit them for having a voice. And for years, I didn't know how deeply I had been brainwashed. I was terrified to speak up, terrified I'd be punished, or worse, killed, simply for telling the truth. And that fear lived in my body. It shaped my posture, my voice, my nervous system. And it wasn't until I really began somatic healing that I started to truly understand how much trauma I was holding. Even after years of yoga and meditation, somatic therapy gave me something that talk therapy never could. A way to feel safe inside of my own skin. And I didn't just heal my mind. I reconnected to my heart, my gut, and my body in ways that I never had until after closing the beverage company. I released survival energy, the appeasement, the fawning, the frozen fear, and I stopped performing and I started being. So now, as a somatic coach, body worker, yoga therapist, and transformational guide, I help others to do the same. Because you don't have to live in a constant trauma response. You don't have to carry shame that was never yours to begin with. Shame is what dysfunctional people give us. You don't have to stay in toxic relationships just because of shared DNA. So if you're considering going no contact, if you've been scapegoated, gaslit, slandered, abandoned for standing in your truth or not knowing how to, please hear me. You are not broken. You are brave. Estrangement doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes it means you finally chose yourself, and that is sacred. And I'm living proof that you can break the cycle, even after years of dysfunction, even after losing your family, your businesses, your marriage, even after surviving betrayal, isolation, and grief. And not just survive, but thrive. If you're ready to reclaim your body, your voice, your life, or you're exploring what that could possibly look like, I invite you to work with me and do some somatic coaching, because it's not just another modality. It's a full body revolution for those that are ready to release the past and embody the future that they deserve. Check out juliecielo.com. You're not alone anymore. Let's walk this path together.
This is the Thriving Scapegoat with Julie Cielo, the space where we blend somatic therapy, shadow work, and cosmic embodiment to break patterns, reclaim your voice, and live unapologetically aligned. Every episode, I'll share tools, personal stories, truth-telling conversations to help you rewrite your past to claim your future, fully aligned in your heart, mind, and gut. Your body remembers, your soul knows, and your time is now.